This week on TechRap, Samsung unveils its first metal smartphone, the Galaxy Alpha. Is Facebook Messenger safe? We sort through the permissions hullabaloo. And we review Nokia's new flagship smartphone, the Lumia 930. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and this is TechRap. Finally, from plastic to metal, Samsung is pushing a new design aesthetic. As rumored, the South Korean tech giant announces the metal-bodied Galaxy Alpha this week, calling it the evolution of Galaxy design. This is what the phone looks like. And let's be clear, it's not all metal like the HTC One M8. The frame is metal, chamfered like that on the iPhone, a huge departure from the cheap-looking plastic band on the S5 made to look like chrome. The front of the device looks very much like the S5, and its removable back plate retains the same faux leather finish. Design-wise, it's a big win for consumers and is a foretaste of what's to come from Samsung. For all intents and purposes, the Galaxy Alpha is the most premium-looking Samsung smartphone, but does not match the high-end specs of the plastic flagship S5. The phone sports a 4.7-inch HD Super AMOLED display, an Exynos octa-core processor, 2 GB of RAM, 32 GB of internal storage, and an 1860 mAh battery. The main camera is 12 megapixels versus the 16 megapixels on the S5, but it can still shoot 4K video. But it doesn't have the same contrast and face detection autofocus as the S5. It does, however, have the fingerprint scanner and heart rate monitor, and features like download booster and ultra power saving mode. The other feature on the S5 which it doesn't have is its being waterproof. Aside from the Galaxy Note 4, Samsung could also be unpacking its virtual reality headset at its September 3 event in Berlin. Codenamed Project Moonlight, The Verge reports Samsung's VR headset looks somewhat like Google's Cardboard. If you don't know what that looks like, we'll show you right now. Samsung is not necessarily beating VR headset maker Oculus to the punch. In fact, reports have it that Oculus is part of the project. There are still very few details regarding the device, but it's expected to turn a regular smartphone's display into an immersive 3D world. Our USB fumbling troubles are about to come to an end. The USB Promoter Group announces this week that it has finalized the design for the USB TypeC plug. The Type-C's banner feature is that it is reversible, similar to Apple's Lightning cable that will plug in no matter which side you use. Another great feature is the reduction in size. The Type-C will be similar in size to the micro USB port on most smartphones available today. It looks like Sony is winning the gaming console war this week. It announces it has sold more than 10 million units worldwide since its launch. 30 million copies of PS4 games have been sold in retail stores globally, and also through digital downloads on the PlayStation Store. That number is expected to grow further with highly anticipated titles in the pipeline, including Grand Theft Auto 5 and NBA 2K15. That's not to say there isn't anything exciting coming for the Xbox One. Speaking of games, at this year's Gamescom 2014 in Germany,
it's important to gradually take steps into the outside world.
Microsoft announces the next Lara Croft game, Rise of the Tomb Raider, will come exclusively to the Xbox One when it launches in the holiday season of 2015. 271 million people. That's the number of people that actively use Twitter each month. But did you know that about 23 million of those active users aren't human? A recent SEC filing reveals 8.5% of the monthly active users are actually bots. Not necessarily spam bots, but that number includes those services that are set up to auto-post from an RSS feed and don't rely on humans to manage them. If you use the Facebook app to chat, then chances are you've seen this message over here, which is forcing users to download Facebook's standalone messaging app, Messenger. And because of that, there's been a lot of hoopla online about the Facebook Messenger app and the permissions it asks for. For the most part, it's an overreaction if you ask me. Many apps ask for similar permissions. We just don't notice it. Permissions are more obvious for Android users. On Android, before you install an app, you first have to grant access to a host of items. Chrome, for example, needs access to your identity, location, photos and files, camera and microphone. There is only one option: accept it all or don't download and install the app altogether. In response to outrage online, Facebook posts this explainer. Here are the permissions explained. Take pictures and videos as necessary so that from Messenger, you can send photos and video messages to your contacts. Record audio is needed to enable voice features like sending voice messages and making free voice calls via the internet. The next few sound creepy but aren't that bad either. Directly call phone numbers just lets you switch to a voice call straight from the messaging app. From a chat window, just tap on the menu option and the user's smartphone number should appear. Receive text messages. While you can't accept SMS on Facebook Messenger anymore, if you have a phone number associated with your account, this just lets Facebook send you confirmation codes via SMS. I'm sure you've been asked to verify via SMS before while setting up your favorite messaging app. Read Your Contacts just lets you sync contacts with your phone. We uninstalled and reinstalled all our favorite chat apps, and you'll notice that WhatsApp, Line, and Viber all ask for the same permissions. This is the Nokia Lumia 930, the latest flagship smartphone from Nokia. The phone represents a major milestone in the Lumia line because it is the last Nokia phone to be announced before Microsoft acquired Nokia's phone business. It's also a major milestone in terms of software and hardware. The phone is the first flagship to run the latest version of Windows Phone 8.1. On Nokia phones, it's referred to as Lumia Cyan. It's also a big milestone in terms of hardware. It's also one of the first flagships to sport a full HD display. But if you compare it side by side with the latest crop of flagship smartphones, none of the features really stand out except for one thing: its camera. The phone sports a 20 megapixel camera with a PureView Zeiss lens, a larger imaging sensor. So what we did was we took the phone around with us on a photo walk this afternoon, and here are some of our favorite shots. This first photo is one of my favorites. It's a mom, dad, and a little baby statue. Now this was shot with the sun really glaring at us, and I was afraid that we would wash out portions of the photo, especially with the father over here, but the phone did a great job balancing it all out. I took this next shot because I wanted to test out the phone's ability to take macro photos, and I was really impressed. I took this photo from about 2 inches away from the dial pad on this payphone, and as you can see, the number 5 over here where I focus is pretty sharp, and because it allowed me to focus really close, it also created this nice creamy depth of field or bokeh right here on the right hand side of the photo. Another problem with smartphone cameras is the speed at which a shutter takes a photo. A lot of times smartphones have laggy shutters, so what I wanted to do was see how fast I could freeze a frame. So what I did was stand by this bike path over here and watch the cyclists pass by and see if I could freeze the cyclists in action. Here are 2 of the shots that I took, and as you can see, the phone did a great job in freezing the motion. One of the standout features of the Lumia 930 is its ability to capture audio for a video in Dolby Digital surround sound. As you can see, there are microphones over here. Take a look at this video I shot by the stream. One of the improvements that comes with the Cyan update is the ability of the phone to process photos, which they say will improve low light performance. Here's a photo that I took inside a tunnel. Initially, the screen was a little bit fuzzy, but overall, if you take a look at the photo, it was really able to bring out some of the bright parts and the shadows and still keep some of the detail even in the darkest parts of the photo. This next photo was actually taken using the front-facing camera. It's a 1.2 megapixel camera, so it's not really anything special, but it is a wide-angle camera, and so I was able to fit a half a body in the frame. There was a bit of a problem. I don't know what's going on with my hair. It turned purple, and I think it has to do maybe with the combination of the way the light was reflecting on the lens and maybe my shirt over there. This is one of the last shots I took. I really like it because of the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. Each of it really just stands out on its own. I also like the rim light around this cat's tail, and the light was really beautiful at this time of day. But what I really like is I took another shot, and as you can see, the detail in this cat's tail is really defined, showing off the macro abilities of the phone. If you were to measure performance based on just the camera alone, then the Lumia 930 is a standout winner. I love its ability to take macro shots, speed of operation, manual controls, and really there are only a few smartphones out there that can pack in optical image stabilization. That said, if you're looking for a smartphone with a great camera, then the Lumia 930 is one you should consider.
And that was TechRap. For the latest tech news, visit rappler.com/technology. Follow Rappler on social media, join our conversation online, and send us emails. All the details are below. That's all for this week, folks. I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.